Hi, I'm Seth Taylor, and I'm going to be talking to you about the difference between qualitative and quantitative. So what is the difference? Well, these two differ in terms of analytical objectives, the types of questions they ask, data collection techniques and instruments, the forms of data they produce, as well as the degree of flexibility that they have. Let's first explore qualitative. Qualitative analyses analyze qualities, as its name would suggest. It deals with things that cannot be measured numerically. They can be objective qualities like color, smell, and appearance, but they can also be subjective qualities like opinions, emotions, and perceptions. Qualitative analyses explore phenomena. The study design is iterative. It describes variations, individual experiences, group norms, and describes and explains relationships. The questions that it asks are normally open-ended, the data is textual in nature, and it's more flexible and less stringent than quantitative analyses. Qualitative methods include observation, interviews, and case studies, which we will talk about over the next few slides. Observation could be direct observation, which is unobtrusive and unbiased, where the researcher simply observes the phenomena. You could also have participant observation, where the researcher observing becomes part of the phenomena or culture, etc., that they are studying. They immerse themselves in what they are observing. There's also interviews. The researcher gives the initial guided questions. The researcher then has the freedom to ask more questions and guide the interview in light of the answers by the participant. The interviews usually cover a topic broadly as opposed to specifically. This may make it harder to synthesize and analyze the data. There are also case studies, which are intensive studies of a specific individual and or concept. It usually uses a combination of methods like observation, interviews, etc., which we cover. The Merriam-Webster definition of case study is an intensive analysis of an individual unit as a person or community, stressing developmental factors in relation to environment. Now let's move on to quantitative. Quantitative analyses analyze quantities, much like its name would suggest. It deals with things that can be measured numerically. It is exclusively objective, not influenced by personal feelings or opinions in considering and representing the facts. Quantitative analyses seek to confirm hypotheses. It's rigid and stringent in design. It quantifies variation, predicts causal relationships, describes characteristics of a population. The questions are close-ended and the data is measured numerically. Study design is stable from start to finish as opposed to iterative like qualitative analyses are. And it is subject to statistical assumptions and conditions. Quantitative methods are usually measuring of numbers, i.e. what percentage of tap water is trace elements, what is the average number of individuals in a family in all of Arkansas. They utilize surveys with answers that can be quantified. Examples of this could be like a census or a blind study like they do in medical research. They're generally strongly influenced by the scientific method. Then also there's mixed methods. Mixed methods, as its name would suggest, simply combines the attributes and qualities of both quantitative and qualitative. For example, taking numerical values from a larger sample and then randomly selecting individuals from a sample to conduct interviews with open-ended questions would be an example of a mixed method study. This would be done to overcome limitations set by either design. It can allow for, as just one example, a researcher to confirm a hypothesis and also to explore and delve deeper into the phenomena tested. Now, let's talk about the Mona Lisa from both qualitative and quantitative standpoints. Qualitative analysis of the Mona Lisa would show that it's an oil painting on poplar. It's painted by Leonardo da Vinci. It was completed sometime between the years of 1503 and 1517. It's also known by the title of La Gioconda in Italian, which means the happy one. It's from the Renaissance period, and it's one of the most influential and well-known paintings ever. All of these things describe qualities that the Mona Lisa has. Now, if we move on to quantitative and measure it numerically, we can say that there is one Mona Lisa in existence. It is 2 foot 6 inches tall by 1 foot 9 inches wide. It has an estimated value of $782 million US. There's 1 incident of theft in all of its history, and there are 4 incidents of vandalism. All of these things can be measured numerically. Well, I hope you've enjoyed watching, and I hope I've cleared up the difference between qualitative and quantitative for you. Thank you.